Howdy, y'all. Today, we're back at Palantir Technologies again. And with this video, we're going to cover over some of the week and how it's looking to be shaped up through the weekend and how we should be starting off on Monday. Well, as you can see, we've been able to hold the line as what we've been talking about in the past couple of videos, where we were able to continue holding this solid resistance line here, which actually that line is not the right one. Looking down here, more in the $7 range, where we were able to bounce off of this resistance line here and be able to continue up higher, where with the way we've been shaping up, we've been able to continue on the path of going back to our 52-week high that we were able to end up continuing with in this new set of charts. So we did end up regressing a little bit, where we did end up closing at about the same that we did yesterday. So our closing was at 117.30, whenever yesterday our closing was at 119.15. So we ended up getting a close close in between the past 2 days, but there is a lot of things going on that's continuing this market volatility trend as to why we didn't end up seeing a greater candle for the day, especially now that we're near the tariff talks between the US and China that's going to go on over the weekend. That in itself is going to set the precedent over the new stock trend over probably the course of the entire week next week, with the way the news and the market is going to consume the news on what the tariffs and the trade deals were made. The UK trade deal ended up coming in yesterday, and it brought us a great day for the market all over. But then as soon as the hype of that calmed down and they realized, well, China's next and it's over the weekend, nobody really knows exactly what direction they're going to go in, except for the fact of knowing that Trump said that he will not down his tariffs at all. So that doesn't leave China with too much room to be able to negotiate going into the meeting, knowing that Trump is not going to budge at all. So with all of that, the U.S. equity indexes started to decline. So that is where we ended up seeing our short regression right here. So, but we also had quite a few weird option trades where everything was just about standard between $100 to $150 buy-ins and sellouts for your small, short, and some long-term buyers as well for the stocks on Palantir. So, but as I still see it, if you see where we ended up having our short drop loss last time, and then the way that we were able to make a comeback, then it just seems like with us continuing this growth trend with a small pullback, we don't even have a pullback yet in the direction that we're heading as it stands currently, where we're still heading in the correct direction going up, as with just the Palantir company's base and not directed on the world stage base for the market. So we should be able to see Palantir continue to climb just straight on up into it, where we're not just going to see one candle on Monday just blow straight through the 52-week high. I don't quite see that being possible with the volatility that's happening right now, but I could be wrong. You never know what the market's going to end up doing. But for the trend and the news and everything else that's coming through, we're probably going to keep seeing this somewhat of a trend where we'll come up a little down, come up a little down, just depending on how bad the volatility of the market gets during a lot of these different trade deals, especially with China, knowing that China is going to be the second largest one aside from the UK agreement. But as it stands, no matter which way we're looking at it, we're still looking at holding a solid resistance line on this 117 and then holding down right here at this 107 as well. So with us being able to hold the resistance at 107 and being able to come up, and it almost seems like there's another resistance level in this area right here, sitting at about the 118, 119 line. But that'll be yet to see. Once we end up coming in, this could just be a monetary thing for this 118 and 119 double stop here and a stop over here. And then way down previous, we had a couple of days where we ended up right in the same area as well. So with that being said, it's just going to be in the hands of the market for what the government ends up doing over the next couple of days through the weekend. And we'll end up seeing how all that stacks up over the weekend. And that'll be the stage that'll be made and set for the rest of the week. And that's not just for Palantir, but that would be across the entire market all the way through on if we're going to possibly see another hard dip like we did over the past couple of months. So if they strike a deal, I would see everything go way up. If it gets any worse, we could see another hard dip. But if things continue the way they are now, where they're in and out and in and out, then it's more than likely possible that just for Palantir's stake, we're going to still stay up above the $100 range and into tapping the 120s, but we might not see that new 52-week high until the market and all the volatility actually cools down enough for the stock to be able to show its true share value, because everybody else has been showing more and more and upgrading Palantir's stock standing more and more to where they're growing it at a higher and higher rate, where they've been at $70 and $80, where they pushed it all the way up to $100, $110, and there's even one that's pushed it to $130 for a price target as well. We haven't seen 130 yet, but it won't be long and we will. So with all that being said, I hope y'all enjoy the video. If you did, please like. If there's anything that you think could be better about the videos, or if there's any suggestions that you have for a different stock, drop it down in the comments. I'd love to be able to see some of the feedback from y'all. And this is the Stock Warden, riding off. So y'all come back now, you hear?